Like I'm just going away. Okay. Everybody sign attention?
No,
All right, may I have the floor? Okay. So, have you or a loved one ever been incarcerated? Have you heard of its horrible conditions and the degradation and humanization that goes on in some of the prison systems? Do you believe that prisoners deserve justice within their punishment, within their sentence, within the incarceration? I am a strong believer of justice outside of the prison department and within the incarcerated community because I have seen and heard about the injustices firsthand. I am credible to speak about this because I have done extensive research and the men in my family are hardcore. So I have firsthand stories, okay? So today I'm going to discuss the prison systems, sought justices, and statistics. Just because you commit a crime and have to serve time doesn't mean you're subject to inhumane, degrading confinement. Private prison systems should be shut down. So, let me tell you about the array of prison systems. To begin, I'm going to start with the federal state prison systems. Okay? So this is what we're looking at. Almost a hotel-like resort kind of getaway thing. So you go here when you commit a federal crime such as tax evasion or possession of illegal weapons. America has some pretty great prison systems that involve lounging furniture, a kitchen to make you a smoothie with fresh fruit or frozen fruit. But you get the idea. It has these large backyards with gardens and stuff. And again, these are federal prisons. So again, it's more like a resort hotel kind of like themed party that goes on. You have pool tables, you have music, you have access to go in and out of your prison cell. You can pay to stay here at the Los Angeles Federal Prison. Most people that are rich and wealthy, they literally pay extra money to be in these hotel-like places. You can ask Paris Hilton about that. So again, unlocked doors, sunny balconies, football fields, open room designs, adjustable beds, real employment as landscapers and gardeners. They actually get paid, decent. And sometimes there's associate's degrees offered and wellness programs in these places, and cigarettes and work. So, now I'm going to talk about the state level prison system. So, according to these statistics, America has the world's largest incarceration rates, holding 25% of the world's population of incarcerated people. So, the state prisons, they have these features, they have the bare minimum standards that these prison systems have to meet, such as the employment, the concession stands to get hygiene products and stuff. They have, the bare minimum health care, the bare minimum activities and resources for your health and safety. This is where most people end up with their first time offenses, such as drinking and driving or possession of drugs. People go to jail for the smallest things these days. And this is all going into the mass incarceration that's presented here, especially in America. You get pulled over, cops are really just out to get you into these prison systems and keep you locked in. So now, I'm going to talk about private prison systems. 8.6% of private prisons are privately owned, according to the sentencingproject.org. The Sentencing Project says the number of private prisoners has increased by 47% since 2000, while the amount of private prisons stays about the same. So we're just adding people to the private prisons. We're not building more private prisons. Excuse me. So, according to the New York Times, the private prisons, they made an article about, they interviewed the guards, saying that the guards, they were low paid, They try to keep things stable, but really these prisoners just go crazy and do whatever they want. There are cases of extreme violence, awful health care. There's people getting the flu and not getting medication or help that they need. There is many cases of rape, dehumanization, and degradation and crowding. As you can see here, the prisoners are crowded. The private prisons, they don't really care about what you eat because they assume that, you know, it's you have to get your own stuff. You have to have people to put money in your concessions. You can buy stuff for yourself. They will put you in solitary confinement for the smallest things because they don't want to deal with the problems and the overcrowding that you can see up here. Not to mention the violence. It's kind of hard to see, but there's like blood and stuff down here. So I'm going to talk about my brother's testimony, Francisco Gonzalez, and I quote, he says, Texas TDC Atascocita has to be the worst place possible for a human. I'd rather stay in a barn like an animal. He talked about how he had to fight for his food. He never got sleep because it was so noisy. There was overcrowding. They sweated every day, all day because there was no AC. They dealt with 0 patient guards. That would put you in isolation for bad behavior. And that's subjective because these guards don't care. They're in a place with no AC, so everybody gets a little tense. I mean, can you imagine 150 men in a small building, crowded together, sweating in the middle of summer? So, these places are like concentration camps that fight to keep the prisoners locked in. Obama administration fought to abolish private prisons last year. It was overturned by Donald Trump, and he reversed this ban last year. So, according to Romper.com, private prisons make about $22,169 a prisoner. Most of this money is pocketed as profit. So, I discussed the differences of prison systems here in America, sought justices and statistics, and now I only hope to shine light to this subject and hope for immediate change and justice for these prisoners. In conclusion, these horrors must be put to an end. Just because you commit a crime and have to serve time doesn't mean that you are subject to inhumane, degrading confinement. Private prisons should be shut down. Thank you for your time, and you can go here to sign the petition to end private prisons. And I hope this can be reversed and justice can be served.